Good morning, everybody. Please turn to the person on your left and tell them, welcome to Money Talk. Tell them money is talking today. Actually, when I was walking in, I asked Victor, are all these people coming here? It was like a football stadium. There's so many people here. This is what it means when you talk about money. So, I know I was given a slot of an hour. I'll try and do less than that, so I don't bore you too much. I was given the topic, wealth creation and preservation for generations. And as I was thinking about this, because I've been traveling for a couple of days, I just came from Dubai yesterday. I had a lot of time to think about it. And some of the thoughts that came to my mind were, the world's richest 1% owns 45% of global wealth. The world's richest 1% owns 45% of the world's global wealth. Meaning they own almost half of the wealth. And as my reverend likes asking, how many heads do they have? Please ask your neighbor, how many heads do they have? The richest 1%. I like answering to him. They have one small head. I like the small part. They have one small head. So my conclusion is, if it is not about the size of their heads, then they must know something that most of us do not know. Okay? And I want to share just a glimpse of my personal story. Growing up, my dad used to work in the largest bank in East Africa. And we lived a very comfortable life. We were the envy of our neighbors. And I can't say that we were wealthy, but we were doing just fine. And I remember in 1988, I saw my mother crying and asked her, Mom, what is it? And she told me that my dad had just been fired. And with just the stroke of a pen, our world was shattered. From that moment, we could hardly put food on the table. Auctioneers came knocking, wanting to take our little possessions. And landlords were threatening to evict us from our humble abode. My name was a permanent feature on the list of school fees defaulters. And I wondered, how could a family that was doing so well plunge into poverty in such a sudden fashion? And this is a question that remained and has remained lingering at the back of my mind. So I saw this movie replay itself over and over again in the lives of very many people around me, my aunties, my uncles, our family friends, our neighbors. I saw them from transition from comfortable lives to families that were struggling. And I was very disturbed. And it is in my pursuit of this answer, why is it that only a handful of people truly make it in life? in financial sense. While the rest of us, we tend to fall off the bandwagon at some point and into the vicious cycle of poverty. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how I found myself in the world of investment. That's how I ended up pursuing finance and investment. I started with accounting, and within 1 or 2 years, I was tired of counting beans. I knew that was not where the answer was. I tried investment, and I believed, and I still believe that this is truly the answer. So, where did the rain start beating our family? Why are most of us, I've just listened to the numbers that Richard was talking about here. Why are most of us still not getting it right? And I think I finally found the answer. And I'm going to tell you shortly. One of the things that I thank God for, I'm a very observant person. I think I just enjoy watching people and watching life and trying to understand it. And one of the common traits that I've observed amongst low to middle income people is that they all depend on active income. Most of us here, we depend on active income. And what is active income? Active income is money that checks into your bank account when you show up at work. Okay? If you don't show up at work, no money. If you don't go and open the little kiosk that you have, no money. That's active income. Most of us rely on active income to meet our bills and obligations. We choose the neighborhoods we live in, the schools that our children go to on the strength of our payslips. We commit to 25-year mortgages based on the number of digits on our payslips. We hang out in entertainment joints and clubs with people that we consider to be of our pay grade. Our whole lives, from the first job up to retirement, is designed unconsciously around our salary. Hence, we live from paycheck to paycheck, from hand to mouth. The rat race never ends. And guess what? If you are this kind of a person, we are the first to know, even before the HR, when there is the slightest delay in processing the payroll. My friends, if you're living like this, you're living dangerously. Your world can collapse at the stroke of a pen. And I mean at the stroke of your employer's pen. So, that's my observation on what is common amongst the rest of us, the low to middle income people. What do the richest people then have in common? Interesting question. Now, according to a survey that was conducted in 2013 by WealthX, Warren Buffett was earning more than $1.5 million every hour, even when he was sleeping. And a bunch of other billionaires, especially the ones in tech, were earning more than $1 million every hour, even when they were asleep. That was 2013. And I believe that number has continued to grow. Last year, Dr. Chris Kirubi, Dr. James Mwangi, who are considered to be amongst the wealthy in Kenya, they both earned 240 million shillings and 250 million shillings worth of dividend checks. The profoundness of those amounts is that they could spend 1 million shilling every day, every working day from January to December. Okay? When you come here to Uganda, Sudhir, who was declared by Forbes as the richest man in Uganda, is approximately $1.2 billion. He could easily be earning 50 million Uganda shillings every hour, even when he's sleeping, assuming just a 10% income yield. Charles Magezi Mbire, also declared by Forbes magazine as the richest native Ugandan, with estimated net worth of $350 million. I did the math. He could easily be making 15 million Uganda shillings every hour, even when he's sleeping. Therefore, there is one thing that is common amongst the richest 1%. And it's the fact that they earn money even when they are sleeping. In other words, they depend on passive income, not active income. Money works for them. Passive income is income that checks into your account regardless of whether you show up at work or not. For example, dividends, interest, rental income. During my last 15 years in the world of investment, I've observed that wealthy people tend to have a very healthy dose of passive income. One of my clients put it to me, or said to me, "Pius, from my own experience, passive income is the sweetest income of them all." I will never forget that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did not come here to show you you have failed. There is good news, and the good news is I want to take the next few minutes to share with you 4 types of portfolios that I believe will not only guarantee you a recurrent stream of passive income, but will also ensure that you create and preserve your wealth for generations.